Welcome to my channel where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. I'm embarrassed, and I think most Nigerians should be embarrassed, that the federal government proposal for the new minimum wage is 48,000 naira. Even Edo State, ordinary Edo State is paying 70,000 naira minimum wage. That is what the governor of Obaseki just proposed recently. And the federal government of Nigeria is suggesting 48,000 naira. Look at where it didn't even make sense. Is that up to 1% of the proposal of Nigerian Labour Congress? Nigerian Labour Congress was proposing about 615,000 naira minimum wage. Of course, why that is outrageous by the labor, and it doesn't seem sustainable. No state in Nigeria can be able to pay that. Even the federal government can't pay it, 615,000 naira. But it is even much more devastating and insulting to the sensibility of Nigerians and to the workers, both federal and state, that under this inflation, under this removal of fuel subsidy, under this high tariff, under this spread of the tax net that Tinubu promised that he will do ab initio, that he will spread the tax net, that he will slow down the economy. Under all those things, you think that 48,000 naira is reasonable enough to present as a bargain figure. That is to show you how those in leadership, they don't think about us. Those in leadership, they don't care about the ordinary Nigerian. At the 30,000 naira minimum wage, he could not even buy a bag of rice. And now they are proposing a minimum wage that cannot also buy a bag of rice in Nigeria. And any minimum wage that cannot buy a bag of rice, we are not talking about other ingredients to prepare a rice meal, jollof rice or whatever, it's a no-no. But my own disgust with that figure, 48,000 naira, is that this is what you can say, this is see finish. It is because the federal government has seen labor finish. That's why they can have the mindset, the temerity, the audacity to present 48,000 naira minimum wage in this economy, in this Nigeria. Meanwhile, the National Assembly members, elected officials at the executive level, they keep on padding their own salaries, allowances, and what have you. They are living in a different economy from this economy all of us are inside. Which country will take that? I understand the outrage of the Nigerian Labour Congress on this matter. They need the outrage should even be louder than the way it is. It should be louder. And it's also a lesson to the Nigerian Labour Congress and the TUC and all the other labor unions around Nigeria. Because if the Nigerian Labour Congress, if the Trade Union Congress, who are major sponsors of the Labour Party, if they had defended the 10 million votes that David Hundeyin believed that P2B got in that election, if they had defended it, in all the 774 local governments area in Nigeria, that there's no local government you go to in Nigeria, labor leaders, you can't see labor leaders who's supposed to be able to defend the vote. If truly they are sincere and they defended that vote, nobody will be taking them for a ride. The P2B would have been president today, and it will be the Nigerian Labour Congress president, Nigerian TUC president, because P2B understands what the labor need. He had an agreement with them. He understood everything about their manifesto and what have you. What the Labour Congress, the idea that inspired them to form the Labour Party. P2B is in tune to it. But what did we get? The Labour Party, the Labour unions, the Labour leaders, despite their assurance before the election, Ayuba Waba and all the rest, they were assuring that they are going to support Peter Obi, that their political department, everything will work for Peter Obi. Yes, Peter Obi got the mandate of Nigerians, but did the Labour help in defending the vote? Of course they did not. It's not only Labour Party, that's Labour unions that are at fault. Most Nigerians just voted and allow the system to do whatever they like with the votes. So Labour Party or the Labour unions, they are paying the price of their complacency in that 2023 election. And that's why they can treat them like shit, presenting 48,000 naira as minimum wage. Who does that? In a country where the inflation is almost 50%. Forget about what NBC, National Bureau of Statistics, NBS is telling you. That's what their official figure they are bandying about. Forget the official figure. Go to the market and see what is on board. Go to the market. Even the levy that you pay at the ports is at about 1,450 naira to the dollar. That's the rate you use in clearing goods imported into this country. That's the rate. Because of that, whatever you see inside the markets in Nigeria reflect that. That's why prices are not coming down as fast as they're supposed to, even when there is a slight improvement in appreciation of the naira. These are realities that Nigerians live with. And you are proposing 48,000 naira. Because my own, I feel so offended by it because I look at the thought. Because some people got together from the federal government side, they sat together and they say, okay, what are we going to pay these people? What are we going to propose to the Nigerian Labour Congress? Because there is pressure. There have been pressure that they must come up with a figure. They must come up with a figure on what to pay for the minimum wage. Because this matter has been dragging for so long. There have been all this back and forth between Labour Congress and the federal government over the minimum wage. At least I had expected the federal government to at least put 200,000 naira minimum wage. I know a lot of people may even be offended by that 200,000 naira, but at least put 200,000 naira. So that at the end of the day, in the course of the negotiation, they may decide to agree, okay, 180,000 naira minimum wage. Because we also have to be careful. We cannot propose a minimum wage that will cripple the country. A minimum wage in which the federal government cannot pay, the state governments cannot pay. That's a fact. We have to look at our finances and see whether we can pay under the present arrangement. Because this government is not ready to is not ready to cut costs to be able to save enough money, because the greed of the elite, the leadership elite, is much. They're not ready to cut down on their luxury. So that, the ideal thing would have been, with the state of the economy, they cut down their luxurious life so that those in the middle and the lower rung of the society could be able to have substantial something to hold on. But they're not ready to do that. They're not ready to sacrifice that. So that indicates that you have to be careful that whatever you are proposing could be payable. But I never knew in my wildest imagination that federal government will propose a minimum wage that is almost about just half of the 70,000 naira that Edo State, ordinary Edo State, Edo is not even a major oil producing state, was proposing 70,000 naira. And federal government of Nigeria, with all the humongous amount they are collecting from oil, from solid mineral, from all kinds of taxes and stuff, all they could think about is 48,000 naira. An obvious indication that they don't care about us. Michael Jackson was right. They don't really care about us. But we have to make them to care about us by ensuring that in the next election, they don't rig it. That's when they will respect Nigerian people. When Nigerian people are unanimous that next election, all the votes must count, and nobody will be given the space to subvert the vote of Nigerians. After that, you can bet that subsequent government will take the lives of Nigerians seriously, because this 48,000 naira proposal by the federal government is an insult on the intelligence of Nigerians who are working for state or federal government. And you know that whatever the federal government pays, it will also have multiplier effect on the society. It means that the government is not ready. And this is in line with what Tinubu was said in one of his campaign videos, that he's going to reduce the purchasing power, slow down the economy, and widen the tax net. That is exactly what is going on. The government is not ready to increase the purchasing powers of Nigeria. That's why they could be able to propose 48,000 naira, in line with Tinubu's philosophy of reducing the purchasing power of the people, slowing down the economy, expanding the tax net. So all these are what are the things he's implementing. It is a lesson for Nigerians to say enough is enough in 2027. If nothing teaches them anything, this should teach them a lesson. I'm talking about the Nigerian workers, who are often driven by primordial sentiment when it comes to election. But they ought to know it, that at the end of the day, elections has consequences. Elections have consequences. And those consequences, you may not know how it will end. Because this 48,000 naira is part of the consequences of the outcome of the last election. Because this 48,000 naira is not a living wage. Even the slaves cannot live with this amount of money in Nigeria of today. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.